Remember The Crow? And I'm not talking about this one. I'm talking about the one from the 90s. You know, the one people actually like. Not too many people like this one. But that movie is pretty good, and it helped kick off an entire generation of Hot Topic goths. I don't know if that fashion would be as big as it is without this movie, to be honest. So, because we live in a time of endless remakes and reboots, somebody was sitting around at some Hollywood decision-making table and said, let's make The Crow again. And instead of having him look like The Crow, we're just going to do a ripoff of Jared Leto's Joker, which is what this kind of looks like. So, controversial the moment this trailer hit. It's actually 117 likes to 117 dislikes. It's went up a little bit. But still, I mean, that is a massive split, and that does not bode well for the movie. And it's not looking like it's going to do well. So, Thursday previews, the movie brought in $650,000. It's not good. That's really bad. And it's predicted that it's going to bring in $6 to $9 million from 2,500 theaters. It's going to be knocked down by 3 movies for sure, that being Alien Romulus, Deadpool and Wolverine, and that Blake Lively movie, It Ends With Us. It also is facing competition from Blink Twice, a Channing Tatum movie that is probably going to outperform it. So it's going to hit the box office with a whimper. It already is. Didn't even make $1 million yesterday. The budget, though, is only $50 million. So I don't know what you would say to that. Maybe $50 million for marketing, making this movie $100 million hole that I don't think they're going to get out of. I don't even think that this is going to touch the originals box office or even City of Angels, which was $13 million. That movie is probably better than this piece of shit. So a strong summer box office, as they put out here on Variety, is going to close with a whimper. And, you know, they did it to themselves. $50 million for what? Why would you make this movie? You know, here's what I'll say. Because the first one didn't follow the comic books to a T. If this Crow movie was like, you know, we're going to make a comic book accurate version. It's going to be just like the comic book. 100%. We're going to give you that true adaptation. Then I would say, okay, well, at least you're going to do that. But no, they changed it again and made a completely different movie. I'm just not interested in it. Not interested, and I'm not the only one. So we have some reviews, by the way. This is what got my attention. I forgot it was even out until I saw this from Brett, host over at Pop Culture Crisis. Says, The Crow, my expectations were low, but holy F. And I responded with a laughing Gear 5, Luffy, because it is pretty funny. I forgot it was out. I completely forgot this movie was coming out because it was supposed to come out months ago and they delayed it. And then here's another review from Vex Electronica. Says, as both an adaptation and a standalone film, I don't recommend this at all. 1 out of 10. Says it might be worse than Borderlands when it comes to adaptations. Not a glowing review. So what's going on over at Rotten Tomatoes? By the way, they've changed it. It used to be the audience score. It's now popcorn meter. And they're going to push verified audiences over anything else, which comes from Fandango. And I don't know anybody who uses Fandango anymore. So a small section of the actual audience will be the only ones that matter on Rotten Tomatoes review score. And this just puts them one step closer to doing what I think they're planning to do and what I think they've been wanting to do for a while, which is remove the audience score. I think they're eventually going to get rid of it. This is just another step in that direction. But we'll see how things work out with this one. I predict the audience score will be around 50%. That's where I think it'll be, because I think there are some people that are just going to go see this that didn't care about the old one and think it's okay. And then there's going to be a lot of people, the majority of people that see it, that like the original, and they're going to say, what the hell is this? What the hell is even that? That's what they're going to say. But we can take a look at some of the critic reviews, which are very embarrassingly low. Top critics, it's at 6%. All critics at 19%. And I really don't. We have some audience scores. It just doesn't show up anymore as a ranking. And we'll take a look at some of those. Here's from We Got This Covered. Sometimes something so bad happens that a terrible sadness is carried with it and the soul can't rest. The soul is one such bad something. Mark Reviews Movies says it's pretty bland. We've got another one here saying that it's a franchise that should have been left dormant. This one says The Crow gets a gruesome reboot that's stylized with goth flair, but woefully lacking in every other category that made the original such a revered classic. The Crow is back, but unfortunately never really takes flight. A movie about soulmates and with a villain who dooms souls to hell, the new film feels soulless. Now let's take a look at the audience scores. So here's all audience. These people aren't even going to get counted, from what I understand. They revamped this whole thing. I almost thought about doing a video on this new popcorn meter. But the only views that they're really counting are verified audience. And how well is that going to work out for them when the first one says boring, lackluster? These are people they've verified as to having bought a ticket through Fandango, which I believe Rotten Tomatoes owns. So the first one I see over here is boring, lackluster. It definitely has a new twist to the movie. Nothing like the original one, but the killings were pretty awesome. Posts of slicing. Here's a fun one. After a couple just saying, loved it, beginning to end, love the new take on The Crow. This person says, awful, curb stomp in 4K, change storyline, no feeling connected to characters. The trailer uses the song Take What You Want. They didn't even put it in the movie. Awful. A little longer than I hope, and some overstretched scene ending, but overall, I didn't fall asleep. This person says, one of the worst movies of the year. I just loved the original so much it hurt to watch it because of that. Could have been a better storyline. A couple people like it, and that's it. That's all of the verified ratings. See how few there are? Not very many. Interesting that none of them have profile pictures either. I don't even know if all audience does. Yeah, some of them don't either. Can you not make a profile picture on Rotten Tomatoes if you have an account? What's up with that? Just Google an image from something you like and use that for the avatar. Anyway, should be fun to see where this movie ends up on Monday. I don't think it's going to really make a dent at all. Nobody wanted this. Nobody's asking for it. It's just like that, and I guess they announced Anaconda 2. Do we really need another Anaconda movie? Can you make anything new? Can you make anything new? Make a movie about a prehistoric snake somewhere else. Drop it in New York or something. Why are we remaking Anaconda? Was anybody asking for that? Was anybody asking for a sequel to that movie? Please let me know. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.